Welcome to Story Before Sleep, brought by Sekolah Dian Harapan Lipo Village in our Book Week activity. I'm Miss Catherine. I'm the librarian of Sekolah Dian Harapan Lipo Village. And today, I will read this book for you, Anansi the Fish. This book is retold by Tololwa M. Molel and illustrated by Andrew Glass. This story is one of the many stories of Anansi story, the folktale from Africa. Okay, let's start. Anansi the Fish, retold by Tololwa M. Molel and illustrated by Andrew Glass. The earth was hot and barren, and no one had much to eat except Anansi the spider. Before the drought, clever Anansi had stored away food from his farm, and now he decided to treat himself a feast. Anansi shut his door and windows and sealed all the cracks in the wall of his old hut. I don't want the delicious smell of my cooking to bring hungry visitor, he muttered. But somehow, the aroma of food escaped and reached Ake the turtle, who was searching for something to eat on a dusty riverbed nearby. I'll drop in on my old friend Anansi, thought hungry Ake. I'm sure he'll spare me a bite. Anansi was setting the table when he heard a knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. He stood still and listened. Whoever it is will soon go away, he thought hopefully. But the knocking didn't stop. Knock, 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 knock. And Anansi had to open the door. He didn't want to share his feast with anyone. Yet, when he saw his friend Ake, he couldn't bring himself to send him away. Oh, it is you, Ake, said Anansi, smiling. Come on in and be my guest, said Anansi to Ake. Oh, Ake stared at the mountain of the food. He didn't know where to start. I'll eat the golden crispy fried plantain first, he thought. Oh, but how delicious it looks. Oh, look at the steaming hot soft yam and the pepper soup. No. I'll start on the fluffy coconut rice and the creamy beans with the ground peanuts. Yummy, yummy, yummy. He was reaching for the rice when Anansi stopped him. Whoop! Your hands are dirty, he told Ake. In my house, it is only good manners to wash your hand before eating. Ake looked at his hand, dusty and dirty from his manner of walking on all fours. Can I have water to wash them? He asked. I'm sorry, I used up all the water, replied Anansi. You must go and wash your hand at the river. The river was dry except for the few puddles. Ake washed his hand thoroughly in one of them, and back he crawled. Ake die, Ake die. His empty stomach moaning, oye, oye, aye, oye, as he thought of the fluffy coconut rice and the creamy beans with the ground peanut. But greedy Anansi had eaten up the rice and all the beans. Oh, no matter, thought Ake. I have the steaming soft yam and the pepper soup. Huh? Look at your hand. You didn't wash them, Anansi said with a frown. Ake looked at his dusty hand and shook his head. Strange, I did wash them. Why it is still dirty? Well, I'll go again and wash them again, said Ake. At the river, Ake rubbed and scrubbed and rinsed and wiped his hand. Then up the river bank he clambered. Ake die, Ake die. His empty stomach groaning, oye, aye, oye, aye, ah, oh, eh, as he thought the steaming hot soft yam and the pepper soup. He got back to find selfish Anansi finishing up the yam and the soup. Because your hands are still dirty, mumbled Anansi. But I washed them already, protested Ake. No, you don't seem to have done a good job of it, replied Anansi, laughing. Now go back again to the river, wash your hands, said Anansi to Ake. By the time Ake returned from the river, cunning Anansi had been eaten all the food and wearing a big satisfied grin. You don't have any, Ake, said Anansi. Ake suddenly realized how Anansi had tricked him. He only smiled, however, and said to well-fed Anansi, Okay, thank you for inviting me to the feast. I hope one day I can repay you. Few days later, the drought ended. Rain came down. The earth bloomed and food crops burst forth. River flowed, steaming with fish and crab. It rained so much that the farm became swampy. The harvest was late, and Anansi, who was not a good fisherman, had little to eat. So he was delighted to receive an invitation to feast at the turtle home under the river. Now Ake invited Anansi to eat at his house, yeah? Hungry Anansi arrived at the river, dressed for the feast in a brilliant ceremonial robe. He climbed up a tall tree on the river bank. Then, straight as an arrow, he dived into the water. Bul 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 bul, he sang. He was too light to stay underwater though. And bul 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 bul, he rose, floating back to the surface. He climbed higher on the tree and dived again. Bul 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 bul, he sang. But bul 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 bul, he rose. Then Anansi had an idea. I know how to get to the feast, he exclaimed. Then he filled the enormous pocket of his robe with pebbles from the beach. Small rocks, yeah, you know, pebble is small rock. So he filled the enormous pocket of his robe with pebbles from the beach. Then he climbed to the very top of the tree and came streaking down. Bul 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 bul, he sang. But now, bul 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 bul, he sang down to the feast. Ake was seated at the table, laden with a plump mountain of juicy, tender crab meat, dressed in the brilliant ceremonial robe of his own. With his heavy shell, he had no trouble staying down. The turtle noticed the bulging weight of the pebbles in Anansi's pocket and touched the spider robe admiringly. "What a beautiful robe," he said and smiled. "But I suggest you take it off before you eat." "What?" cried Anansi. "In my house," Ake said sweetly, "it is only good manners to take off your robe before eating." And he began to slip out of his own robe. Anansi couldn't let Ake think he was an ill-mannered guest. Reluctantly, he took off his robe. And although he tried hard to cling to the table, he rose back to the surface. Unable to return to the feast without his heavy robe, Anansi sat shivering on the bank, his empty stomach wailing, "Oye, aye, oye, oye, aye, oh, oye," as he thought the plump mound of juicy, tender crab meat. Some time later, well-fed Ake walked out to the river. Ake died. Ake died. With a big, satisfied grin, he came to squat alongside his old friend Anansi. "Ah, what delicious feast that was," said Ake, rubbing his fully belly with pleasure. "Thank you so much for coming, Anansi. The meal would not have been the same without you. Let's make sure we have another feast soon." The end. I like this story because the story teach us not to be greedy, teach us to share. If we have something, we share that we have to the one who need. I hope that you like the story. Have a good night. See you in the next story before sleep. Bye.